What's up, everybody? JVille Sports here with my daily sports picks video. This is the NFL edition. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. It is Saturday, September the 15th. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your college football Saturday. I'm getting this video out there for tomorrow's NFL games. Big NFL Sunday, week 2 coming up here. So again, thank you guys so much for joining me today. And let's go ahead and jump right into the action and recap what we did last week. So starting with last week, I gave out a free play of the day, and that was, let me pull it up here. So we had the Cincinnati Bengals +2. It was +3 earlier in the week. Money was coming in on the Bengals, so it went down to 2. Maybe even some places went down to 1. But we really liked that game against the Colts. We really didn't know what to expect from the Colts. Andrew Luck coming back from 2.5 years or so without playing really much NFL football at all. So didn't know what to expect from him, and he actually surprisingly did pretty well. He had a pretty good game. But the Colts, capitalized. Not the Colts. The Bengals capitalized late in that game and ended up covering. So it was a back and forth game. Definitely could have gone either way. But we were on the side of the winner there. So we had the Colts +2, and they were an outright winner. So we're starting off the season strong. We are 1-0 with our free plays. We'll see if we can keep it perfect all year long. So I'll have another free play for tomorrow's games towards the end of the video here. And with Sundays, so what we've been doing, or what we started to do this year, is we're going to do a long shot teaser with my college games. There's many more college games. So with college football, I do a long shot parlay, and with the NFL, I do a long shot teaser. So let's bring up last week's long shot teaser of week 1. And we had 12 teams, and we went 10 out of 12. We were so close to start off week 1. And look at the 2 that lost. The Lions losing at home to a rookie quarterback, and the Jets, they completely got demolished. Got off to a great start. Started the game off with a pick 6. And then from there on, it was the Jets that dominated that game. So very unfortunate there. The other loss was the Saints, -3 at home to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, missing Jameis Winston. And they made Ryan Fitzpatrick look like Joe Montana. He was lighting them up. Over 400 yards, 3 or 4 touchdowns. He completely lit up the Saints defense that looked like the Saints defense of a few years ago that was basically Swiss cheese, holes all over the place. So we'll see if the Saints can tighten things up this week and moving forward, because there were a lot of people's picks to come out of the NFC this year. So don't know what happened with the Saints. So the two that lost for us were 2 big upsets. Everything else came through. We had the 49ers Vikings under that came through. Rams +2.5, complete blowout in the second half over the Raiders. Redskins and Cardinals under 50.5, that went way under. Panthers +4 against the Cowboys, good one there. Dolphins, some people didn't like the Dolphins. I did. Dolphins +8 at home against the Titans. You got to take that. Texans +13. That one was looking shaky, but they pulled it close against New England. So that was a cover there. We talked about the Saints Giants +10. That one was a little shaky as well, but the Jaguars don't have a very good offense. Neither do the Giants. So that one stayed pretty close. So +10 was the winner. Ravens -2, easiest pick of the week last week. Completely demolished the Bills. Steelers and Browns under 47.5. Even though that game went into overtime, nobody scored, so that one went under. Bengals +9 we talked about. So another winner there. So 10 out of 12, and the only 2 that we missed were 2 big upsets. So very good attempt week 1. I'm very close to hitting it. So we'll go ahead and try for week 2. So over on the Patreon side of things, I'll go ahead and quickly recap what we did over there. So on last Sunday, I had 2 Patreon exclusive straight bets. We had, like I said, the Baltimore Ravens, easiest pick of the week last week. We gave that one out -8. Easy cover there. We also had the Redskins and Cardinals under 43.5. That one was a cover. So we went 2-0 with our picks on Sunday. I also gave out 2 picks for the Monday night games. I gave out the Rams to cover and the Lions to cover. We went 1-1 there. So overall with the straight bets on Sunday and Monday, we went 3-1. So that's 75%. So a great way to start off week 1. We'll see what we can do week 2. So let's go ahead and kick it off. So we'll start week 2 with our long shot teaser. I have another 12 teams, so we'll see if we can get 12 out of 12 this time. So I'll quickly run through these so we don't have a super long video. So we have the Pittsburgh Steelers plus 1.5. So these are all 7 points. I'm giving these teams 7-point teaser. Steelers plus 1.5. This one's a little bit iffy because Kansas City looked very, very good week 1. Upset win over the Chargers on the road. And one stat that I learned is that teams that start on the road the first 2 weeks don't do very well week 2. So the Chiefs are on the road again for the 2nd straight week to start off the year. So that favors the Steelers. Steelers have to be pissed off whenever you have the Browns on the schedule, which they always do, same division. You got to go 2-0 against the Browns. A tie is pretty much a loss. So Steelers should be pissed off. They're at home. Still no Le'Veon Bell. But it shouldn't matter. I think the Chiefs step back a little bit here. You know, they still have Patrick Mahomes. He's good, but he's still pretty much a rookie. He sat the first year pretty much. So I like the Steelers here at home to bounce back and get a nice division win. Giants and Cowboys under 49. Neither of these teams are very good offensively, particularly the Cowboys. I don't know who Dak Prescott is throwing the ball to, a bunch of scrubs. I don't see a lot of points here. Both teams have decent defenses, so I like this game to stay under. So I'm giving the 7 points towards the under to make it 49. Right along those lines, Giants plus 10. I think whoever wins this game is going to win by right around the field goal. So Giants plus 10 I really like. Dolphins and Jets under 50. Jets scored a ton of points on Monday night, but it's a short week. They got a lot of turnovers. I don't think they're going to get too many turnovers this time around. Dolphins are pretty safe with the ball with Tannehill. Dolphins aren't a very high-powered offense. Neither of these teams are. So I like this game to stay under 50. Patriots and Jaguars under 51. Jaguars, one of the best defenses in the league. Patriots defense is pretty good as well. They look very good against the Texans, shutting that team down. I don't think the Patriots offense is at the high-powered level that it will be later in the year once they get some pieces back like Edelman and get that running game going. So I like this game to stay under the total. And right along those lines, like the Patriots, plus 5.5. I think whoever wins this game is also going to be right around the field goal. New Orleans Saints minus 2.5. Good bounce back week for them. They have the Browns coming to town. Browns were competitive against the Steelers. They won the turnover battle by 5. So I don't know how they lost that game. Only the Browns can lose a game like that. So now they travel to the Saints. Saints might have been overlooking them if they would have won week 1, but they got crushed. So Saints are not going to be sleeping on the Browns here at home. They're going to crush them. Minus 2.5. Easy pick. Philadelphia Eagles plus 3.5 against those Tampa Bay Buccaneers that crushed the Saints. I don't think we'll see the same performance here from Tampa Bay. Deshaun Jackson is questionable. I actually think he might be out, and he had a pretty big game against the Saints. Philadelphia Eagles, that defense is not like the Saints defense. They're good. They're good all over. It's going to be a lower scoring game, plus 3.5. I will take the Eagles to beat the Buccaneers. Even if they lose, we have that plus 3.5 protection there. Texans plus 4. They are facing the Titans. Delaney Walker is out. That's going to be a big miss for Mariota. Mariota got banged up week 1. He did practice this week, so it looks like he's going to be a full go. But I still like the Texans. They got off to a slow start last week, so I think as the year goes along, I think they're going to improve every single week, namely Deshaun Watson. So I like the Texans here. We have that plus 4 protection. I think whoever wins this game, it will be right around the field goal. Vikings and Packers under 51. Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if he didn't practice all week, but he practiced today. So I don't know if that means he's going to give it a go. I think they're going to be cautious with him and sit him this week. The line, some books don't have a line out. Earlier I saw it was -1 for the Packers. That's what it would be if he was playing. But then I just saw a recent line that had the Vikings -4.5. If Rodgers was playing, Vikings wouldn't be 4.5 on the road at Lambeau. So I think late news is that Rodgers is not going to play. So if you see that line, jump on it before it gets to 6, 7. But either way, I like this game to stay under. Vikings defense is so good. I don't think their offense, with the new quarterback Kirk Cousins, is going to be scoring a ton of points here on the road. And whether Rodgers or the backup plays, Packers aren't going to score a ton against the Vikings. So I like under 51. Vikings plus 2.5. That's with that 4.5 line. I give them +7 to make it 2.5. I think they're going to win this game. With Rodgers or without Rodgers, he's not going to be 100%. That defense for the Vikings, they've had a lot of success recently against the Packers. I like the Vikings here. Colts plus 13. Overreaction line here with the Redskins favored by 6 points. They dominated the Cardinals week 1. Colts coming off a tough loss at home to the Bengals. I don't think this line should be 6. I think it's an overreaction line. So I'm going to give the Colts +7, make it plus 13. Whether they win or lose, they can definitely keep it close against the Redskins. So that's going to be this week's long shot teaser. 12. Even though I like all of these, it's still 12 picks here. So it only takes one to mess it up. That's why I call it a long shot. 12 is a lot to make it happen. We got 10 out of 12 last week. We'll see if we can do better, get 12 out of 12 this week. But that's going to be this week's edition. So let's go ahead and move on. And before I jump into today's free play for tomorrow's games, I'm going to talk about my Patreon page that I've mentioned a few times now. What I do is post all my picks on the Patreon page that I've created. So if you're interested in just more than my free plays that I give out here on the YouTube channel, check out my Patreon page. That's where I have my MLB, my college football, my NFL. We're about a month away from college basketball and the NBA. That's when things are really going to get crazy, and I'm going to have some crazy cross-sport parlays and teasers and stuff like that. So if you're interested in all those plays, Patreon is where it's at. This is a screenshot, and the URL is right below. You can just go to patreon.com/JVille Sports, or just go to patreon.com and search JVille Sports in their search box. Or if you have any questions or need help getting there, all my contact information is right below, my email address, my social media pages. So hit me up there if you have any questions or need help with the website. And so moving on, let's go ahead and give out today's week 2 free play. It's going to be one of the games I just mentioned. I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts +6. Obviously, I love the +13 with the teaser, but I love the +6 as well. Like I said, this is an overreaction line. Week 1 look-ahead line to this game, it was about -3, so we're getting 3 additional points here. For what? I don't know why. The Cardinals were the reason the Redskins looked so good. They were just completely out of sorts. I think all of the week 1 new head coaches just really struggled. The Lions had a new head coach. The Cardinals, I forget who else, but I'm pretty sure they all struggled week 1 for whatever reason. So I'm not going to overreact here with the Redskins. I don't think they're one of the top teams in the NFC. I was really encouraged from what I saw from Andrew Luck, so I think they can score some points here. Keep this game close. I don't know if they'll end up winning, but I think they can definitely keep it close here. They need to get that running game going. Andrew Luck threw, I think, 53 times. That's way too much. You need to get the running game going. Help him out here so you can do some play action. Have some time for the deeper throws. So either way, I like the Colts here. Getting the +6 points. It's a lot of points in the NFL. So I think they can keep it close here. So that's going to be this week's free play, week 2. We're 1-0 so far, so we're looking to go 2-0 with our free plays. And if you're, like I said, if you're interested in more, I'll have at least 2 or 3 additional straight bets for tomorrow's games on my Patreon page. I'll also have my moneyline parlay and a more for sure teaser that I really like this week that I'm pretty sure it's going to hit. So those will all be over on the Patreon page. So that's going to wrap up this week's NFL edition of my video. So that's gonna, yeah, that'll be it. So good luck tomorrow. Hopefully you guys are having a good Saturday, and I will see you guys next week. Good luck with all your picks.